Wow, it's good to see you all in person, right there, not on a screen, not waiting for your loved one to come out late, who drinking something and then hiding what they're drinking and all that kind of stuff. We are here, we are outside, we are in wonderful company. Well, I am wonderful company. That's all I am wonderful company, but I am great company. But we are here. Oh, hi Nevin, come and join us. Come in, you're late. Don't worry. Principal Yancy will sort you out. Attention. Go by your back and corner. Where do you go by your back and corner? I don't understand this. Go in your back and corner one time. Why did they pretend? They know they're going to gravitate to that section one because if Yancy was, when she leave here, I sure she come right to the alley. So it didn't make no difference. Don't lie to yourself and don't pretend with us. But it's such a pleasure to have all of you all here for such a humbling occasion, where it is we all come together, and we know the circumstance of us coming together today is to pay homage to those who are not able to be with us, but they are here with us in spirit for the past 2 years. It's been a tough 2 years. The UGiveHope family, the Ubele Initiative family, as well as the Majonzi family says thank you all so much for your contribution of time, talent, and effort that you all have given us. Don't comment on that. Why are you so? No, love is everlasting. It's always there. But most importantly, us being here together today shows how well we have come together and how we're standing in solidarity and love for humanity and for each other within a collective, as well as individually, because each one of us have our own stories, and in having our own stories, we are able to come together, share them, grow from them, learn from them, and then also empower and enrich others within the scope. So thank you all so much. I'm going to pass you all over to the brainchild, the wonderful, the multi-talented, Grammy Award winner, Dr. Yancy Austin.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. It's so amazing to see people in the flesh. I'm not like her and I'm not active, I'm reading. So today, Wednesday, 23rd of March, 2022, is designated National Day of Reflection, and it marks the second anniversary of the first COVID lockdown, and we're commemorating the lives we've lost. Today we stand together with everyone who is grieving, and we're here to show support for the millions of people who lost their lives. We're here to reflect on our collective losses, the loss of family, friends, neighbors, colleagues, and acquaintances. And you probably heard the story before, but I lost my clinical supervisor, who was my friend and my mentor. Next month will be 2 years since he passed. I grieve for him. Some of us have lost lovers, some of us have lost exes, some of us have lost those annoying people who we have love-hate relationships with. But nevertheless, they were people we have loved and we miss dearly. So as we reflect on the past 2 years, I just want to say thanks to all of you. I know many of you have lost loved ones as well. Thank you for sharing the journey with us. And it's lovely to see some of you, the majority of you, for the first time in person. UGiveHope is 2 years old. And my screen has just gone blank. So, excuse me. Yeah, so UGiveHope is 2 years old, and it is our collective child. It's our toddler. We birthed it together. And I wish my screen would stop. Apologies for that. Yeah, so we birthed that child together. So we are all collectively responsible for the nurturing and supporting and the work that has gone into creating UGiveHope. Thanks for showing UGiveHope love, dedication, giving your time and talent to it. Every Friday you devoted your 7 o'clock time to raising this family. And like every family, you know, there's always that naughty child, and UGiveHope has been that naughty child. You know, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock bedtime. We never ended at 9 o'clock. You know, and our child, UGiveHope, had, you know, that fear of missing out. Would stay up really late, tired, but still staying up, don't want to miss anything. Thank you for showing that child love. We're all here today because of that child. We have a stepchild. Some of you don't know that. We have a stepchild. Sunday mornings, Bacchanal Radio. That's the stepchild. Please show that stepchild some love on their Sunday. As a family, UGiveHope has traveled the world. We've been in 31 countries. Yes, we have. We've had people from countries I have never heard of. We had performances from the indigenous Garifuna people from Belize. We had a DJ from Reunion Island, singers from Colombia, messages of love and support from DJ Spoonie and Dame Tessa Sanderson, just to name a few. We have been around the world. People around the world are grieving, but they spend time with us. Such amazing talent coming together. And what we have created is a healing space. It's a space where emotions have been raw. We have possibly all shed a tear in that space. Shared some comfort, shared some love, and just showed compassion. UGiveHope has been our child. It's a space where friendships have started, love affairs have started and blossomed. It's been a place of learning. We had history lessons about the banjo from Sule in Canada. We learned about mudstraps from Miss Pearl, stories about Calypsonians, Great and from Alexander the Great. It's been an amazing, amazing array of creative talent. Thank you again. But in the midst of all the loss, we've had lots of laughter. We dance, hey Navin. Hey. We sang, I can't sing, but I'm going to sing sang for the praises of today. We twirl, aka wine, we wave flags, we kisses across the street. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for helping me birth and nurture UGiveHope. Now I have got Miss Tashini, my partner in crime and ride or die, which is going to say a couple of words on some of the work she's been doing around ethos and
I'm not prepared because she told me about this about 3 hours ago. So as I ride or die, I will do my best. Okay, I'm Tashini Jones, and some of the recent work, I don't need a mic, I can shout. Not the recent work I have been doing is around bereavement. Now we're working on a project where we're looking at bereavement within different cultures and different groups in society, because we all do it different. Over the last 2 or 3 years, I've probably been to around 30 funerals. I went to one last week. The funeral lasted 4.5 hours in the church. They had a lot to say. If that wasn't enough, they then tortured us for 2 hours at the cemetery. And by the time they came back, everybody was dying from hunger. But you know, it's one of those. I went to another one on Monday, I went to another one on Friday. So I am constantly living in funerals. But part of some of the work I've done personally is because I've been dealing with funerals quite regularly for the last few years. I am actually now trained to be a bereavement counsellor, because I've been talking to a lot of families dealing with their grief, how to handle a lot of situations around burial, some of the legal stuff they need to do, just preparing themselves, preparing their family for the funeral, and then what goes on after that. So a lot of the work I'm doing is around that. One of the things as an organisation I'm doing in Binti Valley is, once we've talked to the various groups, about their different rituals, their different, their different ways of doing things, we are then going to put together a workshop so that we can then go out to bereavement counsellors all over the country, throw out workshops, be online, face-to-face. We're not quite sure how we're going to deliver it. It might be a combination of many ways, so that they understand the rituals behind different funerals. We had a couple of workshops. The first one we did was with the Islam faith, and it was a great workshop. It was really educational. It taught us about how they do it, what their rituals are, what they do in preparation for a funeral and afterwards. And then the second one we did, which was great fun, was the 9-9. Completely people slamming down the dominoes behind us and having a great time. And again, it was just to show the people that came in how, as a Caribbean community, how we do things surrounding funerals. Because, I had to teach the difference. We taught the difference that in our particular culture, we celebrate life. We don't mourn death. And for them, that was something that was quite a strange phenomenon, but to us, it's just an everyday thing. You leave a funeral, you dance, you sweat, you eat, you drink, and you have a great time. And so it is about educating other people who don't know about various cultures, how we do our things. So there's a lot of work to be done. I still have a lot of inroads to make in certain cultures, because as I'm not one of them, they don't really want to talk to me, but I'll get in there because I'm very determined. Just so that we can get the word out there, and so that people have a better understanding of their way of doing things. So COVID has been a real eye-opener for all of us. I think we've all experienced bereavement in some way, and one of the most important things for everybody is to make sure, once the sadness has waned, that we do have really great memories of the people that we've lost. And again, some of the work we're going to be doing is helping people to achieve it and how to get to that level. So, in a nutshell, that's what I've been doing. And now I'm going to go back over there and order food.
Stay right there. Don't move. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tashini. On quite few occasions on UGiveHope Friday, she has been my co-host. And what has happened, right? What you all don't know is that we have been messaging each other while we're performing. Wink, wink, hard, hard, kiss, kiss. Yeah, you will do it now, and I will come back later. We have so much communication, but to be real, Tashini is one of those wonderful people that she has a massive heart, and she's always giving. And she's always going to give you a backlash of attitude when she's ready to. But she does it with love. So let's give a big round of applause to Tashini. Okay.
Just to say, some of you may not know, but Tashini is a survivor of 12 heart attacks. Just
Yes.
I'll drop that in there.
So when I tell you she has a big heart,
Literally.
she literally has a big heart. So we're going to start off the evening's entertainment with, how can I describe this gentleman? He said, oh. Now, Alexander the Great, he is one of the greats. And I mean that in the true sense. He has been a pioneer for calypso music, for music through the African and Caribbean diaspora for maybe as old as he is. I don't know how old that is. Maybe he's going for that as well. But, ladies and gentlemen, Alexander the Great, everyone.
Yeah, my wife could tell you. Oh gosh. Good evening, everybody. I'm very blessed to have been asked. I'm very husky, by the way, because I had to sing 6 lines, backup lines to a song I'm working on, and 6 sets of rules. And I've got a horse, I've done a workshop today, but I'm still going to sing. You're right. It'll just be a bit husky. And this song I'm going to sing was requested by Yancy and Brian. They wanted me to write a song for Ubele and for the Ubele Initiative. So this is Sometimes. It's so hard to breathe in isolation. When the climbing forest looks immense, whether partner, close friend or relation, loneliness can feel much more intense. As more of us struggle with bereavement, we can't let this virus get control. Take time out to cherish our achievements, letting precious moments fill your soul. Sometimes we work so much, sometimes we feel their touch, sometimes we are hostile, sometimes we want to smile, sometimes we have to scream, sometimes we're in a dream, sometimes we rise above, sometimes we just feel love, sometimes. Special days are when these things most matter. Divine Christmas days and Ramadan. Help is there for us before we shatter. Whether we are child, woman or man, suffering in silence can't resolve it. Locking up the pain we're going through. Here comes darling, who may help us solve it. Reaching out is what we need to do. Sometimes it hurts so much, sometimes we feel their touch, sometimes we are hostile, sometimes we want to smile, sometimes we have to scream, sometimes we're in a dream, sometimes we rise above, sometimes we just feel love, sometimes. Sometimes we may think our heart is breaking, other times we're sure it's going to crack. No one else can know just what we're feeling. Are we moving on or denying it back? Grief is like a basket full of sadness, filled with stories of a loving heart. Oh yes, turning melody can bring us gladness. I'm sure our memories will last. Sometimes we hurt so much, sometimes we feel that touch, sometimes Sometimes we rise above. Sometimes we just feel love. Sometimes. Is this on? It's not actually on, is it? It's on. I'm not really sure. It's kind of.
No, it wasn't. It was never on. There you go. Turn to the acoustic. This is called Remember Our Heroes, because it was written for the servicemen and women who fought for the empire in the 2 wars, and that sure was a bereavement for us. Of our heroes, we should be proud, calling their names out loud. When the whole world time go to war, Africans and Caribbeans and even we score. The British government came and asked us to help the mother country, and many volunteered right away to rid this world of tyranny. So remember our heroes who left homes and wives and journeyed to Europe just to fight for all our lives, to shake off our forefathers' shackles and gyves, because of them freedom survives. They were proud to don uniform and to face the eyes of the storm. When the bombs came right away, saying they were insane today. The Caribbean regiment fought for freedom and future for the people, and from the Britain for generations of those who never to come. So remember our heroes who left homes and wives and journeyed to Europe just to fight for all our lives, to shake off our forefathers' shackles and gyves, because of them freedom survives. Many thousands left their own shores to assist in Oriental wars, and if Hitler had had his way, there might be no black people today. The Ministry of Defense once sought to break down their contribution, but without them, you could not call the day a true commemoration. So remember our heroes who left homes and wives and journeyed to Europe just to fight for all our lives, to shake off our forefathers' shackles and gyves, because of them freedom survives. Because of them freedom survives. I want to introduce somebody
Exactly.
very important. It has been my pleasure for nearly 27 years. And I hope it will continue for another 27. To be married to a wonderful poet, musician, I don't know what else, graduate, artistic maker of clothes, decorator of the home. My wife, please welcome Conway. Ladies and gentlemen.
Mama bring it up. Chocolate body. I want it. Madam? No. Ladies and gentlemen, Alexander Witt's wife. Well done.
See your legs. I'm really coming to you guys as the Dominican lady, but you might not have noticed some. You might have missed it. Right, okay. I'm going to do some for you. I've still mixed them up. But yeah, I think the first one we're going to start with is something I call tension. And last year, 2021 in London, we lost 30 young people to violent death. And this is a tribute to them and their parents. Week by week, we clench our teeth, ears strained, so as not to hear what we fear to hear. Tension lives in our backs and in our shoulders, jaws set, with our breaths coming in shallow gasps. Month by month, we eat less, we grieve more. Weeping comes easily. Salt is forever on our faces. Moisturizer is useless now. Bellies always rolling with dread. Whose child will be next? Yet more work for undertakers, yet less life for trees. Trees, do you fear for your children? That's tension. This one I call When Mama Laughs. When Mama laughs, it rises from her belly as waves do in the ocean on a stormy day. Wild and untrummelled and a little mad, keening sounds crashing against her teeth, engulfing her face and piercing her eyes with shimmering darts of merriment, causing pools of joy and sorrow to well up and flood her cheeks in unending cascades. Blood and water from the reservoir of pain we all inherit. I hear her sobbing laughter as she wipes the flow from her eyes, diverts the torrent, and watches it waterfall from her elbows, averting the flood once again. And this one, if you love someone and you've lost them, you will understand about this. It's called My Hungry Eyes. My hungry eyes roam over the people in the street, on the train and on the bus too. I look for you, expect to see you. I'm deluded, I know, but how can I forget how much we rely on you? You were our linchpin, our anchor in life's storms. Catastrophe and conflict were grist to your mill. You thrived on such, cheerfully charging at these enemies like Don Quixote, energetic and robust. How can we emulate that?
You were the sun, and we revolved around you. In your orbit, we were held and warmed and nurtured. Now we are like sand without water, nothing to mold us into shape, to hold us together, blown about by the wind. Now the artist has gone. And finally, I'm going to leave you with this. A little bit more cheerful. This I wrote for my kids because I suddenly realised when I looked at my hands, I saw my mum's hands. I thought, oh my God, my mum's hands. You were noticing. You look at your legs sometimes or your hands, this is your mum or your dad. That's what happened to me one day. I looked at my hands while chopping and saw my mum's hands. Yeah, no cream or anything. This is raw like my mum's hands. Okay, so this is called This You Will Treasure. And my kids think I'm joking, but I'm not, yeah. Yours to inherit are my funny hairlines, with its vampirish slick back on either side. The little mole beside my nose, and the way the corners of my eyes crinkle when I smile. This you will treasure when you look in the mirror. Yours to inherit are my soft-heartedness, the way that I cry, even at sleeping kittens, and how watching donkey adverts on television reduces me to tears. How listening to music can cause me to weep, or my waist to rock, or a full on wine. That weirdly wonderful sense of humour that leaves you shaking your head at your dark parent who embarrasses you sometimes. Yours to inherit is the propensity to collect knickknacks. Yes, those same attract dust. That I swore I'd never do, I leave to you too. Feather dusters, chamois leathers, dusty cloths and polish. This dusty madness should continue. Let's perpetuate the joke. Catching sight of your hands, and for a moment seeing mine, age-spotted and thin-skinned, and longing for just one more touch, even to tuck in the label. Yours to inherit are the weight of all those voices. As they harmonise your name, my voice will join their chorus. My medium djembe drum, to call and to awaken, stands waiting for your hands. The crucifix of nails from Coventry Cathedral, the empty photo frame, Florida water and alphalado, white doilies from your grandmother's trunk, the beginnings of your shrine. The rum I drank, you have to buy your own.
As well done. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round for this group. This is what UGiveHope is all about, and this is what we've been doing online over the last 2 years. In those 2 years, there's been a lot of drama as well. And in that drama, Brian was about to get married. He ended up having issues with the woman he was about to get married to. He also had a wedding plan because she got back. Everything was set. We had only clothes, everything, and we had a runaway group. Brian decided to leave and go. And we had the rings, everything was ready for Brian. Now, I'm giving everybody this backstory because not everybody was a part of UGiveHope every week. So we just going to round it up. Shirley, in the end, left Brian. But the reason she left Brian, and I don't know why they want to call my name in this, because she left Brian for a DJ. somebody come knocking on my door, I do not answer. Shirley doesn't have my phone number, so she can't call me. So it's not me. Listen. Brian, you the only person that would say that because I see she come jumping over your back fence. But the gentleman that brought all of that to life, Mr. Owen Reed. Okay, good evening everyone, good evening. Okay, so you've heard the backstory. Since then I've been in communication with Brian. We've had a little chat and stuff like that. Brian said to me, sorry, excuse me 1 minute. Can't believe this. So I really apologise, my phone's on vibrate. Just got to take this call.
Hello! Who is it? No, I'm doing a show here. Yeah, well, what's all about? You've left the figure. I'm going to do my show. What do you get Brian? Well, Brian's going to help me. Are you sure he knows? Let me have a look. Does he look like he knows? He don't look like he knows. What? Oh, okay. This is embarrassing, man. I don't know if it's gonna work. I'm gonna have to get him over here. Okay, Brian. Okay, yeah, alright, speak to you later. I don't know what you mean. What's blood? I'm myself. Alright, then later. Alright. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really sorry about this. I'm good, I'm afraid to find out probably bad news. I've left some of my stuff at home. Really bad, so I'm gonna need Brian to come over and help me. Brian really knows something. Can everybody give Brian? Someone else I can use that for you, yeah. Brian, do you remember when I told you last week I told you what I was going to do? You remember that, yeah? I think so. Okay, so that's what was that I had to see this second help. Is that correct? Okay, listen, I'm going to refresh this memory. I'm going to just have a look at my back, see what I've got in here. Oh my days, okay. So, Brian, for health and safety, I need to put my names on. You can just put it on, please. And that's not going to be used as a pocket. More health and safety required. Oh, sorry, that's not supposed to be the back, sorry. Don't worry, Brian, you're safe. You're safe. Okay, so Brian, you're going to be my puppet today. Can you see his mouth moving? Can you see his mouth moving? Can you see his mouth? No. Oh, it's not good. I didn't know. Come on, man. We're going to have to go heavy duty. Brian. You're going to have to do this one. That's it. Okay, under the nose. Okay, we're going to get up there like that. Okay, we're just right out there. I don't know if it works.
Yes, it does. This is so cool.
So, Brian, so you're going to help me? So, what are you going to do today?
I'm going to sing it.
You're going to what?
I'm going to sing.
You never told me it was good.
Yes. You never knew I could sing different. I got a song that's Christmas. Yes. I'm the Jimmy Playground.
You do the thing?
Yes.
Okay, I'll tell you, you hold that with me. I'm just going to get the music. Okay, we're going to need to sing the song. Since you really want to sing. Are you sure you want to sing this?
Yes.
Okay, so, cool. We're going to...
What's going on? Where's the music?
It's coming, don't worry.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Oh my goodness. Everybody. It's in the words of God, this music. It's playing, yes. Yes, it's so. I'm waiting, believe me. I'm patiently waiting on you. Shirley. Waiting on you. Yes, I know the words.
Okay, you can...
Yes, they need to do something wrong with me. I'm like the
acapella. Sorry? Okay, what we're gonna do acapella. It's alright, don't worry. It's gonna do acapella. Okay, don't worry. Okay, just rewind it. Okay, so you can do it without the music.
Yes. You knew that, innit? I'm really good at this. What's that guy doing?
I don't know what he's doing.
Try the second one. Does he know what he's doing?
I don't know.
You sure?
You want to? It's alright, I can do acapella. Don't worry. Yeah, but then the second one we're gonna need the music. Hopefully we're gonna get the second one going. Okay.
Oh, days. Look, I'm not even with my lips. That's so good, they can't see my lips anymore. Are they all dancing? I don't know what they're dancing at me.
Okay, so he's gonna do acapella.
Yes. So, oh, there we go. Oh. Oh, my goodness. I'm here. Okay.
You can take it one. Yeah.
There's something wrong with me. Every time I'm home with you, you keep talking about having you. Your family is she's so good. You can tell me
Wow. That was very nice of you, didn't you? Shirley's gonna be very yes. Okay, nothing round the applause. Okay, sorry. I can tell you because I've actually got my props with me. Okay, we're gonna get real Barry White out in a minute. Okay, just get that.
No, I mean,
Yes,
Well, the one thing here, don't treat me like you're a big understand. Cause I know how to do the right thing. Yeah. I see trees, I green. What do you think? Shut it. You think something's pretty funny? Okay, good, funny. How are you? Jared! Yes! Oh my goodness, I'm horrible. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Okay. Wow. You can say that, Brian. Okay, Brian, here you go. Choose yours.
That is not my girl. That is not my girl. She is yours and yours alone. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to make some noise for Zoe. I think some noise. He is an extraordinary guy. He is not bipolar, he's just extraordinary guy. Alright? He doesn't have multiple personalities, he's not schizophrenic, so don't worry. He has everything together. I would like to give you all just a brief overview of who he really is and how long he's been doing this, because I think it's important as a distinguished gentleman within the African and Caribbean diaspora that he is one of the best ventriloquists there is, and he's one of the very few black ventriloquists there is. So, Mr. Owen, if you want to give him just an overview.
Okay, yes, ladies and gentlemen, okay, so yes, I was at one stage one of the only black ventriloquists in the UK for quite a few years. There's now a lady in South London somewhere who's now a ventriloquist, which is quite good, because the more of us, the better for myself, and then we get out more. Okay, so I've been in the business for a long time. My family, entertainers, Grace Kennedy's my cousin, Errol Kennedy Imagination, UB40, the horn section. I started off in a band called Cool Notes years ago. I was a drummer, but I thought they were rubbish.
So I left them before they became famous. I'm like, oh, okay. So I turned them Drifters, they want me to sing with them as well. I turned them to Telegreen all of you back and sing and that. So I've actually been in the internet a long time, and I did what I did because I want black people to see other things other than, we can all rap, we can all sing, we can all rap. Have you ever seen a black venture with this? And when I tell people's house, even black people say, "Raw, it's a black man." Not how they know. And I thank you very much for enjoying the rest of the evening. Thank you. All right. So as we continue in such a fantastic evening, we're going to have some spoken words. Amanda. She has been a part of the team for probably the last year or so, and she is fantastic at what she does. I'll let her reintroduce herself. But ladies and gentlemen, Amanda.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. To see you all in person places. Beautiful. Okay, as Virginia said, I started out on UGiveHope, writing poetry, and then it just every week I wrote something, and then it just blossomed and grew. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Thank you. I'm going to start with one that I wrote for our ancestors. I wrote this one because in my 20s I worked around here near the British Museum, and my boss kept on saying, "Go to the British Museum, you'll see these great exhibitions, it's going to be great." And when I went in there, I was kind of like horrified of what I saw. I didn't expect to see African people, dried bodies of African. I didn't expect to see that. I thought I'd see the jewelry and the headgear and all of that, and I saw people. And so I looked at them as my people that were in there, but they shouldn't be in there. So this one is called Take Me Back. Take me back home from whence I came. I do not deserve to lie here for the rest of my days. I was made in Africa. Yes, that's where I was born. Would you dig up your beloved Queen Victoria, taking her far from her home? Take me back from whence I came. I do not deserve to rest here for the rest of my days. Lying next to me are my people's antiquities. They do not belong in a British museum. They must be returned to put my people's soul at ease. Take me back from whence I came. I do not deserve to lie here for the rest of my days. Do not let me rest here in this cold place, naked and stripped of my burial grounds, and my jewelry now lies in someone else's crown. Take me back home from whence I came. I do not deserve to lie here for the rest of my days. Colonization led to dehumanization. I'm not seen as a person at all, just a mere trinket for your museum wall. In order for me and my soul to be free and forever at peace, I must be laid to rest in my own country. Take me back home from whence I came. I do not deserve to lie here for the rest of my days. You pillaged and you robbed, untold African treasures were stolen. Now it's time to reap the rewards of your odious actions. Shame and greed lay firmly at your door for an eternity and forevermore. Take me back home from whence I came. I do not deserve to lie here for the rest of my days. And the next one. This one's called Leave Me Grief. Leave me grief and take your numbness too. I'm finished. I'm done with you. Why do you persist and come to my door? Let me be abandoned by you and yours. I no longer need your dreary ways and your feelings of dread. I'm exhausted by the cloud that you cast above my head. Leave me grief and take your anger too. I'm finished, I'm done with you. Let my eyes fill one last time to clear away the storm that rages deep inside. Gale force and thunder roars to ease the hurt, the pain and the months of woe. It may not happen for some time, but in my own time my eyes will smile and leave me grief. Take away your blues. I'm finished. I'm done with you.
Yes.
I run a community group, and it's called Friends of Ruby Down, and we've had quite a few members pass, so I wrote this for them, and it's called I Will See You Again. I know death is not the end. It just really hurts right now to lose you, my dear friends. Your smile occupied such a large space. Now I fill that space with the memories of your face and your words and your jokes and the laughter that we shared. I never imagined for one moment, one day you would not be here. You've moved on now, but you've left me with such a special gift, being part of the wonderful life you have lived. And as I weep and write these very words, I know you're up there looking down on her, and you will shine brightly no matter where you reside, like a twinkling star in the midnight sky, travelling through time and space to find your final resting place. I'll think of you as I wipe away the tears, and I'll smile as I know in my heart you will always be near. I'll hold my head up and I'll think fondly of you, because I know that you'll be thinking fondly of me too. Rest in perfect peace, my dear friends, till that glorious day when we will all meet again. I wrote this one, it's called Freedom. It's called UGiveHope. And this was written in January. Freedom exists for those in the know. And yes, this secret was hidden from us long, long ago. Only you have the power to set yourself free. Only you. I'll start again. Freedom exists for those in the know. And yes, this secret was hidden from us long, long ago. Only you have the power to set yourself free. If only you were told, and if only you believed. State of mind is a thing, and that really means something. If you believe you are down, then you will be. Position your head to look up at the stars, and you will go through life reaching far. If you believe you are not worthy and look to the ground, there's not much to be found when you're looking down. And with your eyes cast low, you will not see the sunrise or the moon when she fills the midnight sky with her stars that twinkle and shine so bright. So don't be afraid to look up and embrace all that's destined for you. The world is waiting and wants to get to know each and every one of you. Remember, UGiveHope, freedom, it begins from within you. And that means living your best life, and don't let anyone ever take it from you.
Yeah.
Last one. And when I was thinking about grief and loneliness and homesickness, I thought this one, and it's called Island Paradise, and it's about your home. People miss their home, people have it. So this is why I wrote this one. It's called Island Paradise. When I close my eyes, I am there, swimming in the blue, floating aimlessly,
The golden heat runs in my back. Coconut water and fish cakes, flying fish, rum and bakes. That's how I spend my days. No worries, just me and the Bajan blue sea. Sun-bleached sand gently massage my feet. It's warm, it's pure and it's inviting, and I'm brought back to life in Barbados on my island paradise. Steel pan and soca float in the air, and that rhythm connects to my heartbeat. When I hear soca, I'm transported right there, back to Bim, sipping ice cold Morby and a beef and potato roti, laughing as the sun sets and the night sky draws in. 1,000 diamonds light up the night sky, and I'm home again. It's warm, it's inviting, and it's pure, and I'm brought back to life in Barbados on my island paradise.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, so she's only been a part of UGiveHope for a year, but I'll let you know that Barbados is my favorite island. And I'm not saying that because it's have a Dominican on the back there, it have a Lucian, and it have, a Montserratian, and it have a Trinbagonian. But when I go to Barbados, it is one of the sweetest places in the world. And I'm not being biased in any way because I'm from China. So thank you so much, Amanda. I want to introduce this lady. And where should I begin?
From the beginning.
She lives on top of a hill. She has rolled on the hill to come and greet us. The casual people, because she lives up there, high on top of a mountain, watching everybody. She hails from the wonderful island of Montserrat. Her name is Miss Aliogana Pearl, and she is phenomenal at what she does. And she is here to represent Montserrat and represent UGiveHope family and the whole of the African Caribbean diaspora in such a phenomenal way. Miss Aliogana Pearl.
Good night, friends.
Good night.
Friends in living color and skin.
Amen.
It's so good to see everybody here tonight. It's so good. Dr. Yancy, thank you for embracing me into this family and inviting me here tonight to share some of my poetry. Reflecting on the last 2 years, I tell you, the first one I'm going to share is called The Role. Very simple. When the roll is called up yonder, how many fallen soldiers will answer? The departure list keeps growing longer as we lose another sister or brother. A worldwide pandemic has made us ponder, reflect, question, challenge, and consider the purpose of our sojourn as an earthly member. Today is a gift we must use wisely before we surrender, as our bodies become dust and our souls are returned to sender. And as we reflect, we think about Black Lives Matter and the things that happened, things that the world had to see. And this one was born out of what I saw and what I felt, and the heroes on either side of the pond that we have lost. Legacy. Our heroes and sheroes ascend, leaving behind legacies to defend. The time is now, not later, to prove that our lives matter. The struggles of our ancestors are the foundations to our power. The life purpose we are still here to fulfill. We now must look deep within and see the magical power of our melanin. Rise up and take our rightful place as valued members of the one human race. Our heritage is of noble beginnings. From the cradle of civilization came our being. The blood of royalty courses through our veins, bringing generations through our history of pain, crossing the tortuous middle passage as cargo, to stand on the block, on display for the highest bidder. The Underground Railroad took many to freedom, and others only wanted to return to African kingdoms. Marcus, Malcolm, and Martin inspired generations to dream through speeches, marches, and any necessary means. Our history is global, crisscrossing oceans and seas, weaving a web joining continents to islands, forming empires. From enslavement to emancipation, but still oppressed. Having to justify our existence, yet continually repressed. Fighting to be heard while struggling for breath, to escape the constant suppression from the knee of death. And the farewells continue to happen. So many of us could not say the farewells. And this is for those that we wanted to say farewell to, we wanted to pay respect to, and we couldn't. So many farewells being said, but we are unable to truly bury our dead. They leave an unfamiliar world they could no longer call home, to welcoming shores where angels beckon, as we keep our ordered distance from Earth's horizon. Unable to say farewell with respect, give our support in every way correct, attending wake, 9 nights, funeral and reception. We sing our "How Great Thou Art" from afar, while families stand in isolated solitude around the bier. One by one farewells are being said, as hourly the voracious appetite of the virus is fed. No one is exempt, left out, excluded, rejected, or forgotten. A friend, a colleague, an acquaintance, or neighbor, family member, lover, brother, sister, father, or mother. With amazing grace, we say goodbye in the privacy of a personal, tearful cry. Unable to hug and view, we recall our last physical contact. We will the families to feel the love in our sympathetic condolence as we grieve with them through the distance of our reluctant absence. Such finality in the last farewell. For bereaved living souls, it is not well. This unaccompanied isolation is not the life celebration accustomed to honor our fallen soldiers and heroes, now welcomed on high to the realms of heavenly shores. But all was not gloom and doom. It wasn't. The pandemic, as we call it, some call it the panorama, the panini, it brought a different perspective to the life that we knew it before the 23rd of March, 2020. The world stood still. The world stood still, not because it wanted to, but against its will. It was forced to a screeching halt from the hustle and bustle of everyday living. Came a sudden, unfamiliar quiet, loudly resounding. As days went slowly by, the eerie stillness created a forgotten tranquility. The absence of discordant loudness recalled the harmonious sounds of nature. The need to get there as quickly as possible became a chance to see the blueness of the sky, the vibrant yellow of the blooming daffodil, to observe the delicacy of the emerging tulip and inhale the aroma of nature's perfume. With no carbon footprint to mar its landscape, the air we breathed was pure to inhale, and birds reclaimed their right to soar free, while four-legged creatures shared their space with unfamiliar humans, reconnecting to ourselves. Yes, the world stood suddenly still and gave humanity a chance to heal. And a little something to leave you with. I want to introduce you to Miss Steve. Corona planned to do as she pleased, sneaking her way across oceans and seas. But she never bargained on meeting Miss Steve. Her deadly plan was to run wild like an out-of-control only child. She did as she liked, never expecting to meet Miss Steve. Feeling grown at 19, no shame for being deadly and mean, she had no idea she would be meeting Miss Steve, supreme ruler of the COVID pack, with a bullying, vicious form of attack. She had no thought of ever meeting Miss Steve. Corona felt unstoppable in her flow. Nothing could shut down her viral show. She never once anticipated meeting Miss Steve. Confident there was no vaccine, she went about her business, deadly and unseen, totally unaware she would be meeting Miss Steve. Then stopped dead in her tracks, denied a vulnerable prey to attack. She finally came face to face with Miss Steve. That willful only pick me meant no nonsense disciplinarian auntie. Little Miss Corona, pleased to meet your auntie quarantine.
I want to hear the children as you get going. I can go home? No. Can I go home? No. I want to go home. No. Can I go home, please? Alright, Dougie, can you take me home? You can make sure I reach home, please? Is that alright? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dougie Smith. Want to make some noise for Mr. Dougie Smith on the camera? I realize. Current gone.
My name is Dougie Swiss. I'm born in England. I was raised around. My family is from Trinidad and Tobago. My other side of the family, Vinci and Portuguese.
So I really hope you enjoy the show. It wouldn't be right if I didn't play a little bit of soca. I'm gonna play a soca song for you guys. That song's Never Can Say Goodbye by Jackson 5. And I've been to a lot of funerals recently. Wasn't a single person I could have been ready to say goodbye to. So the next tune I'm gonna play is called No Tomorrow. And of course, the words say, how many we do it today? You know, then we do it today, and I'm sure to see you tomorrow. Thank you. Tone it down a little bit. Yeah, boy. That will be feeling like after. Yeah, there's another Michael Jackson tune. Called there's a song in our favorite as well. Called Gone Too Soon. I think it's up.
Yeah.
No, leave it on.
Keep it working.
You know, you sit down, you sip on your drink, and we're going to hear from a beautiful young lady who I've had the pleasure of meeting for the first time this evening in person, but hearing her sing, she is incredible. Elle, let's make some noise for Elle, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's give some love to the shoes as well. Hey. Hi everyone. Hi. My name is Elle. I sing sad songs about boys I used to know. This first one actually is not that sad, which is different, but this one is called Riches.
Next one's called Roses. When the last petal floats to the floor, you'll still be the beast. You're the type who can't let go, you always love the least. She gave you 12 dozen roses like I did, and placed them at your feet. It wouldn't be enough. Was the world running rough, but the stars were too much in the room. I gave it to you and placed it at your feet. She gave you 12 dozen roses like I did. She gave you 12 dozen roses. Don't you remember you told me you loved me, baby? Is it still alive? You meant it at the time. I don't know, maybe. Roses will die and my tears they will dry, but my love, I gave it to you. What did you do? She gave you 12 dozen roses like I did. She gave you 12 dozen roses. She gave you 12 dozen roses like I did. 12 dozen roses. Walking through the rain, drinking from the bottles, trying to forget your name. I'm not a funny flame, 'cause at the end of the day, it won't matter anyway. Standing at your door, deciding when I'm back home. The only thing that's sure is I will. I'm addicted to your love, addicted to your touch, addicted to the rush of love, addicted to love. I'm addicted to your love, addicted to your touch, addicted to the rush of love, addicted to love. Talking to the sky, asking why can't we just stay high? Why are we alive? I don't care that we fight, all that matters is we try. I'll be loving you forever. I'll be loving you forever. I'm addicted to your love, addicted to your touch, addicted to the rush of love, addicted to love, love. I'm addicted to your love, addicted to your touch, addicted to the rush of love, addicted to love, love. I'm addicted to your love. I'm addicted to your touch, addicted to the rush of love, addicted to love, love. I'm addicted to your love, addicted to your touch, addicted to the rush of love, addicted to love, love.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Al. I want you to tell a little bit more about you. Can you do that? Just get them a little bit more about you. Let them know who you are, how long you've been singing. Let them know about also your phenomenal family, because your brother is a big part of who you are.
So, I'm Elle, been singing forever. But all of the tracks that I did tonight were produced by my brother. Thank you all, and see you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more hand for Al. So this evening was brought together by the UGiveHope family, the Ubele Initiative, as well as the Majonzi Fund. Yanzi, if you want to just give them a brief overview about the Majonzi Fund in collaboration with Ubele, and then we'll continue the show.
You just want me to hold this back. What do you want me to say? So Majonzi Fund was set up by Patrick Vernon and the Ubele Initiative to raise money to support people in the community so they could memorialize their loved ones. So it started as a GoFundMe page, and we just got just under £100,000. And what we've been doing is people can apply. The form is really simple, and they get £500 to do some sort of memorial, whether it's an event, a piece of artwork, a park bench, or plant a tree.
We've had 2 rounds so far, just under 200 applicants. The first round we gave out about 40, lots of 500. We just closed the second round and we're now going through the applications. In addition to which, we've been, as Tash mentioned, we've been doing bereavement training. But actually, one of the most important things we've been doing as part of Majonzi is advising the government on bereavement, because the whole notion of bereavement is a one-size-fits-all, and we know that doesn't work for our community. So we've shouted, we've done everything possible, and now they're listening. So they've asked for evidence of the disproportionality in deaths due to COVID, but also what is it that we don't get that others get in terms of the grieving process. And one of the most outstanding things has been around for those who work bereavement leave. In some communities, 9 nights is just as traumatic as the day the person dies. So what we're fighting for is actually to say to them that it's not just the first 3 days that someone has passed that we stress, but also that period of 9 nights and the 40 nights. So you may hear from me, I may send an email to you or phone call to say, do you fancy giving some evidence at the all-party parliamentary group? Because we're just trying to gather people's stories. I have a story, you have a story. They need to hear our stories. Because what has been happening, the people who do end-of-life care, so Marie Curie and organizations like that have been speaking on our behalf. We have our voice, and we need to use our voice. So that's what we've been doing in terms of Majonzi. Fortunately, Patrick Vernon, who is my other ride or die, who's been working with me on this, he's actually been appointed bereavement commissioner. So, woo woo! We get it there. They want to know what they told me because we just had a whole wine out. So, thanks for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yanzi Ralston. She is the brainchild of UGiveHope, which we've been doing for the last 2 years. What did I say now? You about talking to me? You about talking to me? Okay, I'll deal with it after, don't worry. I have my letter mail today. So everybody who was given me a chance online, I have my letter mail today. I have my letter mail today. So it's links. Sorry, no, not sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring to you a young man this evening. Brian just alerted me to him. Stubby, would you come up, make some noise, ladies and gentlemen? Sing that song like the producer. Hello. I cannot hear you now. What's wrong with you? Well, you have been eating everything over there. Now you cannot talk. Look at the way you are looking. Is somebody taking your teeth away? Anyway, as I was saying before the mosquito bite, why are you guys not making noise? Look at the way I'm dressed. I dress like this for all of you guys, and you are not making noise. Now my head is full. I'm JB, by the way. Thank you very much for. That's how I say it. I'm JB. I'm JB. Well, you're only laughing gas. What's wrong with this? Anyway, thank you very much for welcoming me here. It's actually an honor for me to actually be on this stage. Meeting this gentleman was a blessing to me. This was last week. I've never actually performed before in an event or anything like that, so it's actually an opportunity for me. And wherever I go, I like to teach people a little bit of lesson. And I hope we can all learn from this, simply because you can never throw away any opportunity whatsoever. You just never know. And the funniest thing was, you see the light I'm in this man. Oh my God. I was having a very bad day. And then the man was talking to, I just want to enter a place, look at the heart, so I can be on my way.
And then he was talking to me. I said, this guy, what's your problem? He's talking to me. This man, leave me alone. It's like, yeah, you know, with this thing is. Oh God, what is your problem? What are you talking about? Where are we going? Go, 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 go. And then he said, there is an event, there's going to be some performance. I said, hey! Now we are talking. Okay, you know what? Take my details. But what I'm just trying to say at the end of the day is, right, you never... Oh, I forgot to tell you I'm a Nigerian. In case you did not hear that part. You see, this is the thing. I was very, very intimidated as I was sitting over there. When I see all these very, very talented people, all these women, you people, you always have to show that you are better than us. It's okay, no problem. I'm here for... I'll see you soon. But yeah, I was a little bit overwhelmed, my leg was shaking, everything. I said, no, you got this. So let me introduce myself to you. I'm JB, aka Damo Eskelemans Koko Kurewa. You can never understand. You are not holy, that is why. And I'm very sure you can see my lipstick as well. Only the righteous people can see that lipstick. How many of you are righteous? You see, nobody can see it. Alright, I'm a creative. I call myself a jack of all trade, master of all. A lot of people say jack of all trade, master of all. That's your whole cup of tea. Because everything that I do, oh my God. Everybody will know I did it, you understand? Anyway. Do you want me to start going out or what? What is wrong with you people? I'm here shaking, sweating and everything, and you're laughing at me. Eh? Anyway, darling. Oh my God. Is your head something? I'm telling you, it is something. Auntie, where is her auntie? She ran away. The auntie that came over here and did a boil and everything. I wanted to ask her a question. Because when she was talking about Corona, she keeps saying she, her. How did she know that Corona was a woman? Because I was just wondering, I'm sitting there thinking, am I not hearing this properly? Because I thought men are the only heartless people. Oh, okay, it's alright. Just before I leave, I got a couple of songs that I'm reading. I did not write it because of this event. It's been around for some time, but why are you scratching your beard? Don't start. Listen, this guy, look at it. Don't drop a lot of stuff. We already dealt with Corona. We dealt with the war. Don't drop things over here. You understand? We are watching you. Okay. So I got a couple of songs. I don't know how many I got.
Oh no.
Okay. I don't know how many of them there actually have time to perform, but Jesus Christ. Son of God, have mercy upon me. Okay. Well, just before I forget, I have a very short memory, by the way, and I don't remember names. So please forgive me if I don't remember your names. It's not that I'm doing it on purpose. Even if I want to do it on purpose, it still happens that way. You understand? But yeah. I lost my dad during COVID, and he died in Nigeria. And unfortunately, none of us could attend it, but I guess that's the way life is, you know. But thanks to technology, we were able to watch him from what's it called? What's that application called again? Zoom. It's not Zoom. Why are you? Everybody's not jumping on Zoom. It's not Zoom. Is Zoom the only application that can let you see other things? No, it's WhatsApp. What's wrong with you Everybody is so. Even me, I was thinking with him, I said, how come the herbalist did not tell me from home in Nigeria that, listen, Zoom is about to blow up, go and invest in it. I did not think of it, but this is how life goes. Everybody shall use it. But yes, it's WhatsApp. Alright. So we saw it from there. May his soul rest in peace. I learned a lot of things from him. Definitely. I actually learned to be a good father. That's one thing that I learned from him. It wasn't the best, unfortunately, even until his last days. But that kind of taught me how to be a better father, and not just myself, but all of my eldest ones. By the way, I'm the last born, and I don't know, you did this on purpose. That's why you made me come over here last. You always push the last one to the side. No, you did it on purpose. But yeah, he taught me that, not that he sat me down to sort of like teach me, but he taught every single one of us that. But unfortunately, as much as I want to be that, one way or the other, you know, I still couldn't be that in a certain way. But anyway, let's leave that on the side. But may he still rest in peace. So I've got a couple of songs, like I said. For a man that the world has treated so badly, I don't know why, the only thing that's gonna have to give is love. And that's what I sing about. Every time I think, or every single time that I try to write a song, it's just about love. I just can't help it. But anyway, the first one, I'm not prepared by the way, because I didn't plan that I was gonna do this. So the first song that I'm gonna perform to you is Blow My Mind. That was something I wrote a couple of years ago and I recorded it as well. So it goes like, see, I'm from the gutter, she be at the butter, don't know much about her, but she follow mommy water. If things list another, hey, I go take you home to mama, cause you see how crazy back guy, they make my body thunder, yeah. Every time I see you, my body goes weak. Got me feeling like me, oh so sick. And I got a feeling in my heart, and I gotta let you know. Say, I love you so strong. You got my head in like a ding dong. So say I come start to the sing song. You got me speaking in tongues like I done this smoking tongue. I love you so strong. You got my head ring like a ding dong. So say I come start to the sing song. You got me speaking in tongues like I done this smoking tongue. You did blow my mind, you did blow my mind. I don't know how you do it, but continue what you doing, cause you did blow my mind. You did blow my mind, you did blow my mind. I don't know how you do it, but continue what you doing, cause you did blow my mind. Hey. Fellas tell me say you go run away. My heart tell me say you were here to stay. Rain, I beg go away. Cause me and my baby blue are here to play. Your papa tell you say she go run away. Your mama tell you say he go never stay. Even people say he go fade away. But day by day stories start to change. I leave that one as that. Thank you very much. Since we have all these beautiful ladies in the house, by the way, it's only right to actually show off your beauties. At least the best way I know how to do that. And this one, I call it Beautiful. And it goes like, girl, you're so beautiful. You make a brother feel like say I really look toy. Girl, you're so beautiful. You make the girl feel like say that I'm a toy. Girl, you're so beautiful. Paparazzi wanna come aside to take a photo. Girl, you're so beautiful. You make your brother feel like say I don't the color. Okay, so maybe what's the level? I hear say you like a rebel. Make I want you straight out of my trouble. Be my angel, not a devil. Anywhere you wanna be, and that is where I wanna be. Even when the sky is falling, you lift up my energy. My baby, 'cause you're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, girl, you're so beautiful. You make a brother feel like say I don't know color. Girl, you're so beautiful. You make the girl feel like say that I'm a toy. Girl, you're so beautiful. Paparazzi wanna come aside to take a photo. Girl, you're so beautiful. You make a brother feel like say I win in a toy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chavy. Everyone, makes so much for Chavy. Oh, we're having an amazing evening. And we're coming to that, the pinnacle of it. We have two artists still to perform. And the young lady I'm going to bring to perform, don't play Facebook. Nikki, come please. Make some noise for Nikki, please, everyone. I've known Nikki for a very long time. I said it before because she's gonna just blast away. Nikki's been, well, she has multiple streams of income, first of all. Multiple streams. Alright? I'm alive. Alive? I'm not alive. Because it's my business. So I know. No, I don't drink nothing like that. But she's going to sing for us this evening, and she's going to sing that sweet, sweet, sweet soca music. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so basically, so we hear from movement, I know that, but the thing that hit me most during the pandemic was mental health, and the things that I went through, seeing people literally just get to the point where,
Well, I must do what the child was.
whichever order is around there. Yeah. And it was mental health that kind of affected me most, because obviously that's what a lot of people, Brian, that literally helped me through a lot of what I was seeing in my mental health situation. So yeah, that, so instead of bereaving, I'm kind of celebrating life.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Give me the
People shout to see me waistline roll. Let me take a wine right there. Make them chat. That's no wine, Colombo. Make them chat. Face to face, waist to waist. You will know how to set pace. Don't care what nobody say. Make them chat. Grab a hand, pull me close. Close the gap, I saw the tingle. Let me make this wine a real show. Make them chat. And I'm begging down on my knees. And I'm asking for favor, please. Don't care what nobody say. They gon' talk about anyway. Just give me a little, give me a little, give me a little, give me a little, give me a little. On the waistline, give me a little, give me a little. Bend my back and sorry for the nakedness. Don't have to let close. But it's not a long time I remember how. Whoa, yeah. Time to get talking about what I see. Yeah. Whoa, yeah. Drunk out, yeah. And I feel no shame. Look how it's on my brain. Come again. So far inside my head. How am I dreaming of it? I'm ready with a hit and I start walking up. Was I taking I start walking up? Being sweet and I can't even go. No. The energy is in the air. Music sweet hands in the hair. Hold on tight, let me take you there. I'm getting on back. I'm a strong up in the hand. I'm happy. I'm getting on back. I'm a one thing on my mind. Don't stop me. I'm getting on back. I'm getting on back. I'm getting on drunk again. And I feel no shame. Look like inside my brain. Come again. So clear inside my head. How am I dreaming of it? I'm running with a hit and I start walking up. Was I thinking I start walking up? Feeling sweet and I can't get low. The energy is in the air. Music sweet hands in the air. Hold on tight, let me take you there. I'm getting on back. I'm a strong up in the hand. I'm happy, getting on back. I'm a thing on my mind. Don't stop me. I'm getting on back. I'm getting on back. I'm getting on back. I'm getting on back. The next track is my new track. I don't even know what it's called. Freedom. Oh, UK Soccer Match. So I'm part of a competition and I entered my track Freedom. So basically everyone's voting. I've learned it's voting. So it's EUKSM.com or you can see them on Instagram and anytime you see me, you just vote Nikki Lady. And I think we've got like a few days left. Something like that, yeah. It's Nikki Lady. Yo, nice nation. Long time ain't seen my foot to the sun. On the beach, you're just calling my lighty. Too much on me, I won't leave it. Don't flow somebody's heat. I tell you, yes. Is that when you do your freedom? The only way is a freedom. They say it's mine, but I'm talking about innocent. I'm just my freedom. Till I get on home. When I want it. Give me the word and the rhythm. Excuse me, next. Because I want you to chat there. So I make up my next. Try to show the
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Alan. Thank you. See, I just couldn't come back here, my name is different to yours. So, ladies and gentlemen, he does always get vexed with me because he'll say, why it is that us put him on to perform last? Because he puts us in a mood to party, to fully enjoy ourselves. And with no more introduction, I'd like to bring the distinguished gentleman, Mr. Momo Watt, to the stage. Mr. Momo Watt.
Some respect to the shoes, please.
Good evening.
Respect to the shoes.
Turn me up a little. I want everybody to clap your hands. Come on. Life is what you make it. Whatever you got, don't waste it. Live, live, live. You can make it. This life is hard and short. You work from day to day to earn some money to find our way. There comes a time in everyone's life when you've got to say, life is what you make it. Whatever you got, don't waste it. Live, live, live. You can make it. Never before have I felt this way. It's time for changes. Enjoy yourself, take it as it comes, no matter what they say. Life is what you make it. Whatever you got, don't waste it. Live, 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 you can make it. There comes a time in everyone's life when you gotta say, live your life, make it right. So the lyrics says, life is what you make it. Whatever you got, don't waste it. Nice. Never before have I felt this way. It's time for changes. Enjoy yourself, take it as it comes, no matter what they say. Life is what you make it. Whatever you got, don't waste it. Live, 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 you can make it. Okay, let's go to the next track. Let's go to the next track. Just stop for a second. That is, life is what you make it. Whatever you got, don't waste it. And we have all got to live a good life. We have all lost someone. I'm sure of that. Every single one of us in here has lost someone. I lost my mother when I was 1 and a little bit. So I wasn't brought up with my mother. I was brought up with grandmother and aunt and uncles. A few years back, I wrote a song for my sister and her daughter. They were having their birthday. And I call it Mothers and Daughters. As it's almost Mother's Day, so I'd like to share this one with you. And I know, Brian, you've recently lost your mother. And anyone else here who has lost their mother, well, just think of it as your mother's birthday song. The third track, I think. The chorus is quite easy. From the inception of time, love began. Just a man and a woman, united in harmony. Day to day. combine and generations strange. The kids have grown up, their time is now. Did they know then what would become of a movement the whole world was raised upon? Mothers and daughters, they are the bearers that keep the family together. Mothers and daughters, our respect is due. Daddy's cool, but not as you. Isn't that right? Our daddy is cool, but mommy, oh yes. Brothers and sisters, and friends of the family, today we celebrate the birth of the woman in our lives. But did they know then what would become of a movement the whole world was raised upon? Mothers and daughters, they are the bearers to keep the family together. Yes, mothers and daughters, our respect is due. Daddy's cool, but not as you. And let me say in advance, if you're a mother, happy Mother's Day on Sunday. They know then what would become of a movement the whole world was raised upon. Mothers and daughters, they are the bearers. They keep the family together. Mothers and daughters, our respect is due. Daddy is cool, but not as you. Mother, I will love you. Daughters, I will love you too. Whoa, whoa. Daddy is cool, but not as cool as you. Thank you. Thank you. You know that song, since it was released in 2017, every Mother's Day, you hear it on some radio station, whether in this country or in the Caribbean, but they're playing this song. And I'm so grateful for the DJs to be playing that song. Okay, let's do one more, shall we? And it's as I talk about it, you'll get to know which one. Have you noticed how many black people is on TV today? No, seriously, have you noticed? In every advert these days, there's a black person. Now, did we all of a sudden just appear in this country? Did we just drop from the skies? No. We've been here all along. But something happened. A young man by the name of George Floyd was killed. And the whole world, not just black people, white people, everywhere, in all the countries you can think of in the world, they were marching. And as I sat and watched my television, and I saw that man with his knee in the man's neck, an inspiration came to me. And that inspiration took me back to the 60s when I heard the song. I was a little boy then, and I heard this song, and it's called "A Change Is Gonna Come." So let's live life like you should. I was born by the river in a little tent, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh yes, it will. It's been too hard living, and I'm not afraid to die. 'Cause I know what's out there beyond the clouds. It's been a long time coming, and I know a change is gonna come. Yes, it will. Then I go to my brother. I said, brother, help me please. But he just kept on knocking me right back down to my knees. Oh, I go to the movies and I go downtown. Someone keeps telling me, don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, and I know a change is gonna come. Yes, it will. You know a change is coming, brother. Can you see it? A change is coming, sister. Can you see it? Oh yes. Sister Nancy, Dr. Nancy, a change is coming. Oh, a change is coming. Yes. A change is coming, brother. Then I lean back to the ground. He said, Mama, help me please. Mama said, son, come on home. Knee on his neck, he calls out, I can breathe. Oh, born by the river in a little tent. Just like a river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Can you see it? Can you see it? They're marching on. Oh mama, can you see it? Oh, oh mama, a change is coming now. They're marching on. Oh mama, I'm coming home. Black lives.